कि लोग शेयर करेंगे, वही तो मैं चाहता हूँ। ठीक है, सारे ज्ञान तो यूट्यूब अवेलेबल है, बंदा खुद ही देख लेगा। और मैं एक चीज शेयर करता हूँ आपको, जब से मैंने यूट्यूब का लिंक देना चालू किया है एलएमएस हटा के, 25% सेल बढ़ गई है। ध्यान रखना, आप कोई पेड कोर्स करा रहे हो और आपका पेड कोई कोई चोरी चुप के किसी को और को दे रहा है, इससे बड़ी मार्केटिंग क्या होगी? वो बंदा पक्का देखेगा। और 200 300 400 देखिए, कोर्स जिसने पैसा दे दिया, तो आप अगर अपनी लिंक शेयर करते हो जो लोग कॉपी कर सकते हैं, पेस्ट कर सकते हैं, इट इज इन योर इंटरेस्ट इनडायरेक्टली। जब तक आप बड़े ब्रांड ना बन पाओ, बड़े ब्रांड बन जाओ विवेक बिंदा की तरह, तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। ठीक है ना, तो चीज ध्यान रखिएगा। चलिए, ये सेशन स्टार्ट हो रहा है, अब मैं जाके अपना डिनर करता हूँ। चलिए, ये अभी मैं रिकॉर्ड कर रहा हूँ इसको। चलिए, यस, अब प्लीज कंटिन्यू प्लीज।
सर, हाँ सर, सत्या सर।
सत्या सर चले गए अभी।
Okay, okay, doesn't.
We'll take it at the end. ठीक है. So all right. So good evening everybody. So welcome to day 3. So on Facebook Ads Masterclass. So today we will learn about how we can track things on Facebook, right? So day in day out, we see a lot of ads coming to our account, right? And you keep wondering how is the thing which you are actually looking, and you get the same kind of ad to you just in after seconds or maybe in a minutes, right? So that is what we will be learning today about the tracking mechanism, how it works in the Facebook, and also we'll revise on the how the tracking mechanism is created, and also about the business manager. Okay, so let me know in the chat box how many of you already have created your business manager on the task which you perform. Just type in the chat box yes if you have done your homework, type no if you have not done. All right, I can see some no or yes. All right, that's fine, but the rule here is you have to practice so that it becomes very easy for you when you go into the next classes. And trust me, it's very easy. You just have to follow what I have told. I'm giving you everything, each step by step in a layman language so that you understand what is the next step to be taken, right? If you just follow the recording, you will be able to understand easily, right? So let me share my screen, and let's understand what is the agenda for today. So is my screen visible to everybody? If yes, type in the chat box yes if it's visible. All right, so we are into day 3 now, and in today's class we will be learning about business asset groups, which I already mentioned in the last class. And we also discussed about users and permissions. I'll again walk you through on that. We'll go to a billing and information, okay, and we'll set up the Facebook pixel, and we'll also look at custom events and conversions. Okay, these are the main topics which you're looking at today. And until now, what we have seen is we've seen about the introduction about the Facebook ads, we've seen how the accounts are created, and today we are seeing how we can set up the tracking system. And from here, your actual game will start about running ads on Facebook. How many of you are excited to, start running your campaign? Type in the chat box yes if you all are excited to launch your own first campaign in the coming class. I can see yes, but it all drills down how many of you are all doing your homework. If you don't do your homework, then you won't be able to do it, right? So your homework is mandatory for you to complete. If you do this, then it will be very easy for you to launch your own campaign. And understand this, if you don't have a business manager, you cannot start your ads, right? That's the main point. So all the people who have said no, do this right after the class, or you also have a time tomorrow. It will not take more than 10 minutes to complete all the tasks. And it will take you maybe 1 hour or 2 hours if you're watching recordings of all the 2 days to complete the entire recording and then finish it in just 10 minutes. Yeah. So all the people who have typed no, just let me know in the chat box, as I will complete, so that I know that you all will be completing your, creating a business manager. Type in the chat box, I will complete. Great. So now let's begin with the accounts. So in the last class, we discussed about the settings on the business manager, right? So we spoke about the main broad topics of what are mainly into the business manager, right? So how many of you recall what is users for? Can anybody type in the chat box, what do you use users for? Type in the chat box if anybody is able to recall. People, partner, very good, Mamta. All right. So partner users means it's nothing but for all those people who want to, manage Facebook ads on your behalf, is where you give access to them under users. Okay. So you can give access to all of them. If they are an individual, you can give access to everybody by going into people. And if they are the partners, which means they are having a business manager and you want to make them as a partner for managing your business, then partners is the option. Now let me show you how you can add people and give access to the business manager. Okay, so you have to go to the people. Okay, once you go to the people, you click on add, and when you click on add, you need to give the email ID of the person which is associated to their Facebook account. Remember this. You need to give an email ID of the person which is associated to their Facebook account. Okay, note this down very carefully. You have to give email ID of the person which is associated to their Facebook account. Okay, so for an example, I'll just show you my email ID connecting here. Once you give the email ID, you just have to give them the rules. Okay, now if you want to give an employee access, which says we recommend adding people as employees, they can only work on assigned accounts and tools. If you're having multiple accounts and multiple pixels, okay, which is a tracking mechanism, and you want to give certain access to them, that is when you will be choosing employee access. Now the admin access is something which you will be having a full control of your account. If somebody wants to manage an entire account on your behalf, for them you have to give a admin access. Clear, everybody? Type in the chat box if these two things are clear. Type yes in the chat box if this is clear. All right. So now let me show you how we can give the access. Now I've given my email ID. The next is I want this particular email ID to have an admin access. So I click on admin access and I click on next. So when I click on next, as we know that page is a mandatory to run, so it'll ask me to give a page access, right? You just have to give first page access. Now in this case, it asks what kind of access you want to provide to page. Now it's up to you for what type of content you want to give an access, or either you have to give for them to managing the access a page, or you want to help them run ads on your behalf. Then you need to give all of those access. Then I give them an access. Let's say I want to give them an access to run my ads on my behalf. I give an access to my ads. Now next comes is you add accounts. Now initially you will have one account. There might be several accounts which you would be creating based on the number of account access you can get, right? So next you have to select the add account. Now again in add account, you need to give them the permissions of all what you want to give them. Okay. Now in this case, I want to give them access of full account access. So I can select full account access. If you want them to manage campaigns, then you can give them access to manage campaign, right? Now next there is catalogs. We'll keep this aside for now. There are apps. We'll also keep this aside. Somebody who already have an app, it's for them. Catalogs is again for somebody who wants to have, who wants to have a store set up in this. So it is for the catalogs. Then next comes is pixels. Pixels is a tracking mechanism. Again, you have a control to either give view pixels or either manage the pixel. Then there is an Instagram account. As we learned while we were looking at pages, you need to connect your Instagram to your page. So once you connect, it will directly pop up here. Since there's no Instagram account connected here, it will not show here. And then you click on invite. So when you click on invite, what happens next is the invite will go to their particular inbox, right? So when it goes to an inbox, they will have to accept this and give it as get started. When they accept this and click on get started, their name will appear here, right? Instead of the status is pending, it will show them name here directly, right? So that is about giving an access to a business manager for somebody whom you want to for somebody who will be managing ads on your behalf. Okay. So that is about peoples. Now let's look at about partners. So partner is something where you are giving access to somebody who already has a business manager and you want them to manage your ads by giving access of partners. Okay. So to give that, it's the same step which you need to take. You click on add, and then you will be having two different options. One is give a partner access to your assets, ask a partner to share their assets, right? For somebody whom you want to give an access, then you will be choosing give access to a partner to your assets. For somebody whom you want to request and you have an information, then you click on ask a partner to share the assets. Okay. So I click on give partner to access the asset. Then here is where you need to give the partner ID. Okay. Now, where will you get this partner ID? So this partner ID is nothing but your business ID. Okay, if you hover to the business info and click on that, then you will find a business manager ID, right? So this business manager ID, you copy this and then you go to partners and then add, click on this and add business partner ID. And whatever you saw in the, in the people's, there was a pop-up where to give an access for the ad account, the pages, the pixels. The same screen will again appear here and you will be able to give an access. Okay, so that is about giving access to the people or the business manager ID under users. Okay, so let's come to accounts now. So we learn about giving access, which is users and permissions. Now under accounts, we will be learning about the pages, accounts, and business asset groups, right? So now pages, how do you add pages? When you click on add, there's something where you can click on add a page, which will take your page and help you get your page added here. Okay, the request access to page is something where you are requesting an access, okay, to your business manager. Okay, now there's also a possibility that you can also create a page within your business manager. Okay, the one way to create the page is from, you already know, is from the profile, right? Now the second way is to create a page is directly from the business manager. Okay, so you just have to click on add a page when you already have a page. Okay, and I click on this page. Let's say you want to add any page. So I go to my page. I go to my Facebook and I click on page, and the one which you see the URL is the exact page which will be the URL of the page. And I paste the page URL, you will be able to see the page name. Okay, you click on page name. Now, since I've already added my page, it will not allow me to add back again. Okay, so, and then you click on add page, you will see the page will be here. Okay, so that is about adding the page over here. Now let's look at the ad accounts. Ad accounts is nothing but you creating an ad account, which we already learned. Next is business asset groups. Now business asset groups is something where you group all of your assets, okay, be it a page, be it your ad account, be it a business manager. Now these are all considered as an asset. Now you group all of them as an asset group by clicking on business asset group. Then you can choose different options based on the needs. Now separate bands or separate line of business. Now this is something for people who are running different businesses and they want to group the assets. That is for them. People from different regions. So when you're running an ad for a different region for a different ad account, this is how you can do. Now this again, next is for agency. When you're doing it for an agency, you can group it for an agency. Then there is other, where there is no particular option, then you can go for the other. Okay, now these things is not mandatorily to do right now, but it is just an option which I am walking you through. Okay, now next is about Instagram and WhatsApp accounts. So that is all normal. Now next come to the most important thing in the business manager, which is tracking. How many of you are excited in this room to learn about tracking? Just type in the chat box yes if you all are excited to learn about tracking. And also type in the chat box, one, if you are able to understand what I'm teaching you. Two, if you're not able to, understand, or you are not able to, catch the speed of mind. Wow. I see everybody is able to understand. That is great. So now let's look at the most important thing which we are learning now. Okay. And which is the backbone of, you running the ads, I can say. The biggest asset of entire all of this is your pixels. Now, reason is, number one, it stores all the information from your ads, be it who has seen your ad, who has clicked on your ad, who has watched your video, who has engaged on your video, who has commented on your video. You get this? Like all of this information will be collected with the pixel, right? So now let's look at how to create a pixel. Okay, so pay attention here, everybody. It's very simple, provided you pay attention and you understand how it is done. Okay. Now I hope everybody here knows you have a smartphone and you know how to install an app, right? It's as simple as that. Like you install on your phone, it's as simple also to create a pixel. Now let's do that live here. So I come on to pixels under the category of data source, and then I click on add. Now you see, whenever you create a new pixel, it will automatically give the pixel name. Okay. And then it will pick up the name of your business manager. Right. And then there is an option to give your website URL. Right. Now, I don't want to give any website URL right now, so I'll just skip this. And if I want to change the name of the pixel, I can do so. It is easy to do here. You can change the name. Okay. But now I want to keep this as it is. I'll just go ahead and click on continue. Now you see the pixel is created already. Isn't it easy? Type in the chat box yes if you felt it very easy. I want everybody to respond in the chat box so that I know that everyone in this room have got this. Okay. I can see only 4 to 5 active responses coming in. Come on, everybody. I want you to type yes if you have understood how to create a pixel. We are 22 in this room, and I want each one of you to reply in the chat box as yes if you understood how to install a pixel. All right. So we created a pixel, right? It was so easy to create a pixel. Now, once you create a pixel, right, the next step is to install a pixel to your website. Now, there are 2 ways to install a pixel to your website. Number one is you can either, when you're learning on the web development, you can find a Facebook, not a Facebook pixel, you can find a meta pixel on your website under the plugins. Okay, if you're learning the WordPress. The second option is you can install the pixel via code. Okay, we'll come to that point when we already look at, talking more into detail about the pixel. Okay, so is this point clear? Type in the chat box yes if you understood about installation of the pixel. Type yes in the chat box if you understood about installing a pixel. Great. So now let's understand about custom conversions. Okay. Now, before you go to custom conversions, I want to give you an example, a simple example which everybody can understand. Okay. Let's say, suppose I have my website, I have my own website. Okay. And I am running ads on my own website. And I'm tracking number of people visiting to my website. Okay. So let's say there are 100 people visiting my website. I get to know that from the pixel, there are 100 people coming to my website. Okay. Clear? Now, let's say I don't have a website. Okay. And I'm running an ad, but I also want to track number of people visiting that website. Right? Now, how can I do that? Right? With the pixel, there is no way I can do that. Right? Because pixel will either get integrated with your website via WordPress, or you have to install a code. But when there is no code you have added and you still want to track, okay, how can we do that? Okay. The only way you can do that is where you're not able to reach the tracking mechanism via the pixel, via the installing the pixel. The other way to reach is and track the data is creating a custom conversion event. Okay. Now, what does custom conversion event does is you have to give a certain criteria for it. Okay. And whenever the user visits it, it will fire a pixel out of that, out of that page, and then triggers that particular event to Facebook. Okay. It helps Facebook to understand that this person has come from this ad, from this particular page via this event. Okay. That is the power of custom conversions. Okay. Now it is used in certain use case scenarios, like I give an example, but on the most of the cases, okay, your pixel will do all your job. You don't have to go to custom conversion events until and unless there is a need for it. Okay, keep this in mind. Whenever there is a need for it, that is when you have to go for custom conversions. Okay, clear everybody? Type in the chat box yes if you are clear about custom conversions. All right. So I hope everybody has understood this. So now let's understand what are the different kind of events which Facebook can, track. Okay. Let's understand the different events what Facebook can track. Now, I'll also be sharing this link with you all in the maybe group after the class to understand what are different events which Facebook actually tracks. Okay. So all of these events are called as standard events. Okay. Those are called as standard events in the Facebook. Now, this link I'll be sharing with you. Do not worry. Now you see there are standard events given by Facebook. Now, these are only the things which you can track in the Facebook. Now, let's see one by one what are those kind of events. All right. So you will find some of the events which will be specifically used for some use case scenario where you're selling a product. Okay. You will be able to see some of the events which are used for maybe for consultation. You'll be able to see some of the events which are used for, maybe for your training purpose. Combined to all of that, they picked up few of the events and listed in Facebook, and you need to use all the events within those. Okay. Now let's understand what is add to payment info. This simply means that people who are, clicking on the ad and then, clicking on the payment information and they're trying to add an information, that is when you can trigger add payment info. That means you would be able to see how many number of people are going to payment add info. Okay. Event. Next, this is add to cart. Add to cart, whenever you go buy a product on Amazon, Flipkart, you click on cart. So this is where it triggers add to cart. Same with add to wish list. Add to wish list is sometimes you want to buy a product, but you don't buy it right now, but you want to buy it later on. Then when you click on that, then it triggers as add to wish list. Now, this is again something when somebody is giving an online application and you're completing that application and the event is triggered as complete registration. Okay. Then this is somebody who's creating a contact on the website or maybe a landing page, right? Or maybe filling a form somewhere on the online. That is when it will help you to trigger a contact. Next, it's a customized product where somebody has a different kind of product, and wants to track this, can be used, right? Then there's something called as donate. Donate is somebody who's doing donation campaigns. Okay. It's for that particular thing. Then find a location. Somebody's, trying to find a location. Then initiate checkout. When you're buying a product, you initiate a checkout. That is for that. Then tomorrow, some of you would start running Facebook ads for yourself or maybe somebody, right? You will be using lead as an event. Then there is purchase. When somebody is purchased the product, then this particular event gets triggered. Somebody is booking an appointment with you. It's scheduled. Somebody is searching something on your website. You can trigger search. Then somebody is starting a free trial, okay, for your product or a service. Then that becomes a free trial. Then followed by submit application. Somebody has, come to you, and they filled the form and they submitted application. That's again. And somebody who is running an ad, maybe to subscribe to YouTube channels, subscribe to their products, services, subscribe to newsletters. This is where it is used. And at the last, something where you click on the content and you're looking at the content, then this is what can be triggered. Now, again, these are all of the options given by Facebook. Not necessarily you choose all of them. Okay. For one particular domain, which you will buy, Facebook is limited to only add 8 events out of these. You can choose only 8 events out of all this, for one domain. Okay. Now, when you connect your domain to a Facebook, which we will be learning, and that allows only to add 8 events out of this by Facebook. Okay. So this is another homework where I want you to deeply understand, okay, what these events are, where it is used, right? This is already given here. You don't have to again do a research. I'll be sending a link in the group where you can go through all of this and understand the usage of each event. Okay. That is the use case of this. Okay. So we learned about events. We learned about creating a pixel. We learned about custom events. let's understand what is conversion means. Okay. So when you set up a custom event, okay, custom conversion event, okay, and you send a traffic, and when the task is completed, when somebody visits or maybe fills the form, the task is completed, and then after the completion of task, you need a confirmation, right? How do you get the confirmation? Okay, it has to be tracked somewhere else, right? So after the completion, that is when your pixel triggers and it understands that this is the task is completed after visiting certain page, okay, XYZ page, or maybe a thank you page, when most of them will have thank you pages. Then your pixel will fire this event, okay, whatever the conversion event it will trigger. Let's take an example, and I want you to understand this by an example, okay, which will be very easy. So pay attention here, everybody. And I go to Amazon now, okay, I click on product, I click on add a product to my cart, I go and complete all the details, I complete all the details, and then I make the payment, and I receive a confirmation that the order is complete and the order will get dispatched. Now, when it says that order is complete and will be dispatched, that is the confirmation for me that my order is confirmed and completed. But how will my system, as a Facebook algorithm, understands that my order is completed? Until I pass some event to it, the system will not understand, right? So when I pass an event that I have completed my purchase through a custom conversion event, it will send that data to Facebook back saying that this person has completed the transaction and has completed the order. Then your order is completed. Then in your dashboard, we will be learning more in deeper in the dashboards about dashboard. It will show you that you have one purchase made, okay, at what cost you have got this purchase, okay, and how much amount you have spent to convert, this purchase, right? Now these are the information which you will be getting. We'll look into those information much in our deeper next coming sessions, but this is the use case scenario of the custom conversions. Okay, so that is about understanding users, creating accounts, what are business groups, right? Understanding about the pixel, understanding about custom conversions. And the last part which we will look at is, where do you track all of the events, right? You understood about creating a pixel, you understood about custom conversions, right? Now, where do you find the space where you want to track all of this information? Okay. Now, when you hover and click on these three lines, which is all tools, there is something called as Events Manager. Now, Events Manager is something which is very specific to track all of the events. Okay. You click on all of the events, and then it will ask you to connect the data if you're already not connected. So in order to skip this, if you go to left side, you see something called as data sources. So when you click on data sources, let me just refresh this once, because we already created a pixel. So sometimes it might happen that when you create the pixel, it won't appear here. Wait, just a second. I think we created a, okay. Yeah, I got this. So make sure like whenever you, we have created a pixel on the business manager level, on the account level, there's no pixel. Okay. So that's the reason it's asking to create, but that is not to worry because this is a main pixel we have created, right? For entire business manager to manage. Now you can see here the pixel ID. Okay. So when you click on this is the pixel ID. Again, this is an asset. Like I said on the first class, each asset will give you the unique identification number, okay, for all the assets. So this is where the dashboard, where you manage all the pixel. So let me show you some real data over here, okay, about any of the pixel, like how does it look. Now you see here, there is an information about the tracking. You see, there is an increase in the tracking, which shows you count, the number of people visiting to your site, number of times the pixel has indicated Facebook, this is the time people are visiting, and all of that, right? So you can see with the time, it shows you the tracking. Now, this is how it will track once you start using your pixel. Okay. So, all right. So this is about, the pixel tracking, creation, events, and users, your accounts. Now let's, you can unmute yourself and let's take some questions anybody has.
I have one question.
Yeah, let's take one by one. We'll go one by one. So you can unmute yourself, but I want everybody to unmute right now and go one by one. Or let me do this. Let me do this. I want everybody to raise your hands. Okay, raise your hands, and I myself will unmute you so that you don't have to. We don't get that disturbance. Just a second. Raise all of the hands. Whoever has questions, raise all your hands, and I'll unmute you so that I can take your questions. So Sumit Kumar, Surmit Kaur, sorry, you can unmute yourself and you can ask
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Actually, I've been trying since yesterday, but I feel the Facebook ads part is getting little difficult for me. I don't know, maybe there's so much detailing you're explaining, but side by side, maybe we are not going through what it is. So maybe when I'll scroll down, when I look back, I feel blank. I feel, oh, how I will do it or what is the purpose of it.
So whatever I suggest is, Sumit, so you see you look at the video one time first. That is how I also started learning. Is look at the video entirely at once. Okay. Finish looking at that. Okay, which will help you, get that, the flow of how it is going. The second step is then run on videos simultaneously along with your screen. You can split the screen actually on your system and then run a video, or if that is not possible, keep your video on your phone and do that on the laptop, okay, on your screen. So we just have created the business manager right now. So you have to just create a business manager.
I have already in my Facebook.
Okay. So you already have created a business manager?
Yeah, it's written business ads. In business ads, we will do that, right?
Yes.
Yes, the option is there.
Okay. So try following this method. It will definitely work. Okay. Thank you. So let's take next.
Hello.
Yeah, Aman.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Sir, actually, the thing is that after your class, I went taking the Facebook doubt session class. So I want to request you to mention in the group that whenever you have any problem, because I am also running this Facebook ads for the couple of years. So the thing is that you can able to discuss in the class that mentioned that you can have any doubt, you can able to ask me. Personal problems can be solved over the doubt class. Okay. So yesterday also I was fixing the class, but nobody has asked me the question. If somebody has asked the question, then I can able to reply because these are the basic things. They might don't know because this is the first time they're using. Those who are having a habituated, they will be asking the questions. So I want that all the people who have problem, they can able to ask personally on the group. We are having a separate class for doubt session. Okay. Now
Yeah.
I have a question. I have one question that uh, about the pixel. So how many pixels can be created in the Facebook? And I understand that there are many unique ID we can able to get. So I just have a question. And how will be integrated website like separate like landing page is something different, website is just different. Please clear it about all this.
See, when it comes to Pixel, initially it will allow you to create one. Okay, you can create 2 or 3 as well. But as and when the account accounts get little seasoned where you start spending money on Facebook, in the backend it will also keep increasing your pixel count. Okay, but there is no way where you can search how much number of pixels you can create on Facebook, but it does allow you to create more pixels. Okay, provided the account is active. When the account is new, it will not allow you to create much of pixels. Okay.
So how many pixels can be able? Because suppose I am running my 5 landing pages. One is website, one is social media marketing, one is like graphic design. So I am having 3-4 pages. Now I have to separately want to make the pixels into this Facebook account.
Not necessarily. See, it will, when you launch a campaign, it will track separately for when you're sending traffic for separate page.
Okay. So
Okay.
how we can able to integrate website into this? Like website will be separate and pixel will be separate.
Sorry?
Website integration with Facebook will be separate and pixels 5 pages of.
See, you can track with the 1 pixel, you can track with 10 different pages. There is no problem with that. You can also track with 100 pages. There is no challenge. Your data will be tracked as per for which page the traffic is going to.
Okay. Suppose I have run the ad for 1 page, so 1 page will be shown, second page, and third page, and fourth page.
Yes.
And how to integrate the website? So website is a same place where we can able to give the pixels or somewhere else.
So it is a code which we need to install. That is one. Or
no
second,
voice.
When you do a WordPress, when you learn the WordPress, it can be done in the plugin. You can add the plugin and it can be done.
Sir, can you repeat because there was no voice?
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes.
So it can be done via Pixel, via integration of the plugin in the WordPress. If there is no plugin, then you can also install with the code of the Pixel. So there are 2 different ways.
Okay, so which plugin you are talking about, sir, in the WordPress?
You can search for Metapixel. If you're already on the WordPress, you can search for Metapixel, you will get. Okay. So let me, I want to take some other questions. There's a lot of people waiting. So I'll talk to you later. So Davinder, can unmute.
Sir.
Yes, Davinder ji.
Sir, I joined this class today first time. So I do not have any clue about the previous ones. Will I get the previous videos in the group so that I go through the first videos and to link this?
You will get all the links, sir. Don't worry, sir.
you'll get, you will, it's already shared in the chat, or group. Our team will also share again. So don't
All
worry.
the creators, those who want creator group, they will have the only access of doubt session of the Facebook class. All the interns, until and unless they submit their assignments or the website, their website is not ready, they will not be allowed to take any doubt session. Is it clear to all of you? Creator have the access, but intern, they have to do the work of website first. Later they will move on. Because whenever you want to run the Facebook ad, you have to make a landing page. Without landing page, you cannot run the particular Facebook ad. So when landing page is not ready, means you want to do marriage, but you don't want to do engagement. It's like that. So I request all of you, those who are intern, please try to make your website ready within 2 to 3 days of time. Please continue, sir.
Okay. So Nagraj, you can unmute.
Sir, you said we can use 8 pixels for a website or to
Yeah,
just
8
track
events.
the 8 events, right? Can we change them accordingly, or once we
Yeah,
have
it's
done
up to you. You can change whatever you want. So out of that list, you can use any list, any events you want.
Okay, that was my
Okay.
question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So let's go. Lakshmi, you can unmute.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Sir,
Good
show
evening.
me one more time how to integrate with Pixel topic. Just give me.
So that I have
one more
not shown
time.
currently here. So when you learn about WordPress, in the plugins, you note down there's a plugin called Pixel. When you install that, it'll directly help you connect to your Facebook, and it'll automatically pick up. Okay, it'll give you an option of the pixel name. So whatever the name you give on the Facebook right now, currently, which I showed, when you install the pixel, it'll just ask, it'll connect to your Facebook account, and then from there it'll pick up the pixel. Okay, it's all self-explanatory, which will give you, and you also have a video which comes in the plugin. Okay, it's very simple. So next, Aboli, we can unmute.
Yes, sir. I have a question. As you mentioned regarding the standard events, that there are so many standard events. So can you please tell us what should be higher priority 8 standard event which we should select?
It again depends on business to business. So the priority of events has to be given on what is major important thing which you want to track. Let's say if I'm running a business of like e-commerce, where I'm selling any product, for me, purchase is a priority, right? Second priority can be, for me, would be people who are adding add to cart, or it might be people who are adding payment information, right? So that is how the priority of events will depend. It changes for everybody. Since there are a lot of events, it depends what we choose based on our business. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, one more doubt I'm having.
Okay.
For Pixel, we can also give URL of landing page, right?
Yeah, you can give that, provided if you already installed the Pixel in your landing pages.
I will complete that.
Okay, you have to install a Pixel,
Thank
then
you,
it will
sir.
help you do that. Okay, thank you.
Sir, the standard that you have mentioned the code. So where this code can be applied, like in which place we have to use these codes? It is mentioned that standard events. There are so many codes are mentioned in there.
Yeah.
So how to use it? How do you use this?
So you will learn when you do the landing page, right? You will learn in that, and when you install a code, right? What Aboli was speaking is when you install a page, so Facebook allows, which you will be learning in the coming class, it will allow you to track the page via URL. Okay, that is when it will track the information. We'll be learning that slowly in the next class. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. So please share that link so that we can able to.
Yeah. I'll be sharing that link. Okay. So any other questions for anybody? Um,